On December 23rd, 1995, my husband John came into my office and he said that we had a phone call. So I followed him into the other room and I was watching as he wrote down what they were saying on the phone. And what they wrote was, baby boy, blonde hair, blue eyes. Critical condition. HIV positive, tuberculosis positive, hepatitis positive, RSV positive, drug addicted. In his system were methadone, heroin, cocaine, marijuana, alcohol. Scariest thing I ever heard, but it was the best call of my life because I just became a father.
Well, it didn't really start on December 23rd. As a gay couple, Jon, Michael, Galluccio, we went through training to be foster parents because we were going through New Jersey's foster to adopt. We received a lot of training. We passed our course. We fought really hard, tops in our class, and we got a letter saying that we were a foster family for the state of New Jersey. We also received a letter that we were an adoptive family, approved adoptive family in the state of New Jersey. However, after December 23rd, when we brought our son home, he wasn't a happy, bouncy baby. He was sick. And
We took our son through drug withdrawal. We cared for him like parents would care for an extremely ill child. And we got him healthy. We got him through the drug withdrawal. We got him through his major illnesses. We even got him to the point where he seroconverted to negative HIV.
So his social worker said it's time to adopt, and we put through all the paperwork. And one day I got another phone call that said I was not allowed to adopt my son, that they would only approve Michael because they didn't realize they had a state law that prevented unmarried couples from jointly adopting. Because we were gay in 1995, there was no marriage law for us. We couldn't be married. And so the state said, you cannot adopt him. They would let Michael adopt him because he had an income, but I stayed home to take care of our sick son, and they said I couldn't.
So we thought we'd go through all the proper channels, and we started contacting people and writing letters and everything we could possibly think of to, hey, you guys said that we can do this, and now we have a healthy child that we want to make part of our life. And it didn't work, and one day we got a letter from the state of New Jersey saying that our son had been available for adoption for some time, and we had not moved to do it, and they were going to look for other placement for him.
So that wasn't going to happen. So we contacted the ACLU and we explained to them what was going on, and immediately they took our case. It was scary. We thought the ACLU was exploitive. We didn't want to be exploited, but we wanted to protect our son with two legal parents. He had that right, and so we fought. And eventually, how the ACLU did it is we filed two lawsuits. One was to adopt our son without consent of the state of New Jersey, which we call a hostile takeover of our son. And the other lawsuit was
On behalf of all unmarried couples in the state of New Jersey.
a class action lawsuit against the state of New Jersey. We represented the individuals, land-to-land families of New Jersey, represented the class.
So obviously this was a little bit scary considering the time, and
On October 22nd, 1997, we won and adopted our son.
2 days later,
2 days later, the state of New Jersey called our attorneys and said, we want to end the class action lawsuit.
settle.
We will settle it, and gay couples will be able to adopt jointly.
The good news is that New Jersey became the first state in the country to recognize a same-sex couple jointly adopting a child. We could not have done that alone, and that is the truth. We had our tribe, and our tribe, aside from our immediate families who were spectacular in supporting us emotionally, we had our lawyers at the ACLU, Michael Adams and Lenora Lapidus, and really, really impactful was our social worker, Loretta McCormick, who went against her mandate from her division and recommended to the judge that we be able to adopt.
She was told she was not allowed to even go to the hearing on October 22nd or she would be fired. She attended the hearing on October 22nd. She handed in a report that was glowing. And it weighted heavily with the judge, who was the Honorable Sybil Moses. And then she resigned from the state of New Jersey.
And Judge Moses, as John said, granted our adoption, and we walked out of the courtroom that day to a flurry of news cameras and reporters and radio, and it kind of stayed that way for the next several years.
Well, the night that we won the class action lawsuit was December 17th, 1997, and that night we did Larry King, which was terrifying, and we debated Reverend Falwell. And that was our first step out of the gate into the big worldwide public, and it was terrifying. But we also realized in October that there were a lot of people out there that supported us, a lot.
As a matter of fact, once our lives became very public, we were terrified, and we thought we are going to be hurt, at least harassed. And we started getting, almost like the Miracle on 34th Street, bags of letters. And literally from all over the world, from Singapore and Japan and Russia and everywhere.
But even before that, remember that editorial?
Yeah.
That editorial was written by Ruth, God, I can't remember her last name right now. She wrote an editorial in the Bergen Record, which was our local paper, and it ran on October 21st because our hearing was October 22nd, and the title was called Let Them Adopt. She called us that evening because the owner, editor of the paper, I'm not sure who, but someone told her that she needed to call us and tell us that that editorial received more responses than any editorial they had ever written. And at that point, 100% of the people said, let them adopt.
And it was followed up by bags and bags of mail. And of all those thousands and thousands, literally thousands of letters that we got, only 2 of them were... Three of them did not support us and our family and our new adventure.
2 of them were the same pamphlet from Franklin Graham. Whatever, it didn't make Billy Graham. That's it, I guess.
But the story is that, as I said earlier, none of it we did alone. Our goal was in all of this was to become ordinary, and we were able to do that with the support and help of so many people in so many places across the world that we've achieved our goal.
We were celebrated. We were celebrated because it became a gay rights victory. And we didn't do it for a gay rights victory. We did it to protect our son. But we realized the importance of it. We realized that we were being pushed to represent gay men who wanted to be parents, and we did our best, but we could not have done anything by ourselves. Nothing that happened in our life since we decided to have children, well, in our life period, but since then, it has been just a network of people that have stood up, mainly women initially, that stood up for us and said, he can absolutely, meaning me, because a lot of criticism came to me because I was the one who stayed at home, So there were people that said, well, he can't be a mother because I have a penis. And, well, that's what it was. And what it turns out is that you don't need a special part of your body to be a loving, good parent. It doesn't matter genetically who you are. If you want to give love to a child and commit for life to taking care of another human being, if you have that in your heart and your soul to commit to that, and you have a tribe of people supporting you, then it's the right thing.
There's nothing you can't do. So whenever we get the opportunity to recognize all of those people who have helped us along the way, far beyond our children being babies, and still help us today, it's something to do. And there's nothing better than having a good, strong support system behind you.
And we felt very, very driven to do advocacy, because what happened once it became a international news story is that, you know, we had a film crew from France living with us for a week, a film crew from Brazil living with us, because people wanted to hear about it. So we became advocates. We wrote a book. We traveled around to colleges, but then we weren't being parents because we were away. So then we had the balancing act of what do we do. And by 1998, we had 3 children. We had Adam, our first one. We adopted Madison a year later, and a year after that. And Madison was an infant too, under very similar circumstances. But a month after we got Madison,
we got a call from the state of New Jersey saying that she had a 14-year-old sister in a group home who was there when the baby was born and would like to see her little sister one time to say goodbye.
So you see, the state of New Jersey, the law, the people, whoever, said that we couldn't adopt. But the people doing the adoptions were calling us to give us other children. So there was a definite disconnect there. So
in the end of the story, we ended up adopting Rosa too. At the time, she was 2 days before her 18th birthday and 8 months pregnant.
Yes, pregnant.
So we got our 3rd child and our first grandchild in a month from each other.
Yeah, we said 1997 is when most of this started, and it's 2021 now. So I just want you to know that we have 3 beautiful children, a son-in-law, and 2 future daughter-in-laws. We have 3 grandchildren, 3 granddaughters. So our family has grown quite a bit from that first phone call on December 23rd.
All because of our tribe. So thanks to them.
Thanks to the tribe.